Okay, so we shall begin. And let's start. I'm going to do some a different style of breath work, but first let's start with just some lower abdominal breathing like we often do. So hands in the lower abdomen below the belly button, one hand on top of the other, shoulders, maybe wiggle them around and then let them melt down away from the ears. And let's take a nice inhale and a nice, slow, juicy exhale. Breathing in and then a lovely breath out. Just letting everything just sort of melt and get ooey and gooey. And then, so the variation of breath work that we are going into, we're actually going to cross the arms in front of you. So just like sort of like you're almost grasping alternate elbows. And on the inhale, you're going to raise your arms up and above the head. And then a nice slow exhale, bringing the arms down. And then we'll switch the position. So one arm, the opposite arm is on top now. And then again, we're going to just bring the arms up over the head on a nice inhale and a nice slow exhale, bringing the arms down and then changing the position, just grabbing. So one arm is on top and then you switch it so the other arm is on top. And as we inhale and bring the arms up overhead, really getting a nice stretch through the torso, the diaphragm, the lungs all get just a little bit more space to expand and then exhale. So we're still using nice slow inhales and exhales through the mouth. Excuse me, through the nose. We're just stretching the mechanics of the breath. Nice and slow. Maybe the top of the breath, wiggle the arms up just a little bit more so you're getting just even more space between the ribs for the lungs to expand, and then exhale, slowly come down. Also, really good to slowly and gently open up the shoulders. So, if you have any kind of shoulder injury, and even though this is a gentle stretch, that doesn't feel good, then you don't need to come all the way overhead. Even just a little micro raising of the arms up and down is going to have an impact, a similar impact. But if this feels okay, it's actually really good to gently stretch the entire shoulder girdle. And then one last inhale. And then exhale, let the arms drop down. So now we are going into a different version of knocking on the door of life. This is bear walking. So it's a similar knocking on the door of life, but this is where we weight shift. So we shift over to one side and come to the toes of the opposite foot, and then the opposite. So there's a little bit of a hip opener as well. So we're just gently allowing the body to shift to the right foot and left foot, still knocking on the door of life in the lower abdomen, getting a little bit of a hip opener here. So just changing the dynamics just a little bit so that we're still opening the spine, but we're also opening up the adductors, the hips. And then come up to below the collarbone. All the way to the top of the shoulder. And then back down below the collarbone. And all the way back down to the waist. And then let's just come to the center, just knock on the door of life with the feet both planted. So releasing that weight shift. And then let's start to unwind. So that shift in weight also, it's more of a grounding. It's not really a flow, but more grounding, opening the spine. And we'll continue that with a little bit of spinal cord breathing, but we're going to use a little bit of the animal frolics again. So we're going to step forward with your left foot, so your feet are staggered. So this is opening the spine, but we're going to use the deer frolics. So the deer antlers we make with our fingers. So whoa, I have no idea what is happening right there. That was a crazy, like psychedelic light just came through the Zoom. No idea what that was, but interesting. So the deer antlers, the thumb, the index, and the pinky finger are extended, and the middle finger and the ring finger are curled in. So when we make the deer antlers, we're going to be shifting the weight towards the front knee and then opening the chest. Okay, let's do it again. I am so sorry. I have no idea what that is. Hopefully it's not bothering you at all. And then as we pause 1 second, is that anyone else seeing that? Can you raise your hand? Did you see the little like light thing coming through? Okay, I'm not sure what that is. So hopefully that's not going to continue, but we'll just continue. So again, stepping forward with your left foot. And as we come to the weight shifting towards that front foot, the deer antlers come back. So you're opening the chest. And then on the exhale, you're going to shift the weight towards the back foot. And the fingers curl in and thumbs wrap around the fingers. So these are the hooves. And again, we come forward, the deer antlers opening the chest. And then exhale, shifting the weight to the back of the back foot. And we're making little hooves with our hands. So just nice and easy, inhaling and then exhaling. So shifting the weight forward, opening the chest with the antlers, and then shifting the weight to the back of the foot, making little hooves with our hands on the exhale. Interesting. Zoom's doing some interesting things right now. I know there was a big, massive tech issue earlier this morning, something to do with Microsoft or some vendor that is tied to Microsoft, and it was impacting everyone. So maybe this is something residual from that. We're just going to go with the flow. So inhale and exhale. So opening the spine. And then as we come forward, sink the chest slightly so you're getting a nice stretch through the area between the shoulders and the neck. And now let's come to the center. And then we'll step forward with the opposite foot. So your right foot should be forward now. Let's start with our weight on the front foot, bring our hands into the deer antlers. So inhale, and then shift the weight back as we exhale, and then fingers curl in, thumbs curl over the fingers as we exhale. We inhale, sink the chest, Exhale. Inhaling, looking up, exhale as we sink the chest down. We exhale. And let's do one more inhale. And then exhale, let's come to the center, shake it all out. And let's do a little, since we're sticking with a little bit of the animal frolics today, let's go into tiger. So some cleansing and clearing. Let's bring our tiger claws above the head. Nice inhale. And then as we exhale, let's go into a gentle squat as we bring our claws down through the earth. And then inhale, rolling up. Think about dredging channels, dredging the energy, and then sending it to the floor, to the ground to be composted. Keeping the weight towards the heels as we come down. You don't want to come too far forward. Protecting the knees. Do one more. Inhaling, let's cross the forearms. Let's take a nice deep inhale and then separate on the exhale. Okay. So I think let's do a little stretching of the head, neck, and shoulders with dragon stretches its tail. So our hands are facing us over to the left. Nice inhale. And then as we exhale, turn the hands away from you, pressing over to the left. And then you turn and look to the right. Nice and slowly inhale, looking back towards the hands. And then rotating the head again over to the right as you exhale. One more on this side, inhale. And let's make this a little longer. Nice long exhale. And then drop the arms down. You shake them out for a moment. And now over to the right. Nice deep inhale. And then exhale, turn and rotate your head over to the left, pressing the arms and hands over to the right, and then inhale. Again, that front arm, you may not come to a fully straightened arm, but the goal is to sort of pressing across so you're getting a little bit of a stretch through the outer shoulder. And pressing, spreading the fingertips so you're pressing through the palms. And one last one, inhale. And exhale. Let the arms drop down. All right, let's come into a wider stance, and we will be going into a lunge sequence or strengthening exercise. Let's start first with the hands together at the heart center and just connect with our breath. So inhale, the arms separate the sides as you look up, and then heart to the earth. As the hands come in towards the heart center, just bow your head down slightly towards the earth, and then inhale, look up, and exhale, sinking the chest slightly on the exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. So we're going into a lunge and flow exercise. So you're going to turn the right foot so it's facing the right side of the room. And then the back leg, you want to be really firmly planting that foot into the earth. And then just bend the right knee slightly so that your knee is just about over your ankle. So that back leg is straight, front leg is bent. And then you're going to float the arms up so that you're extending the fingers to each side of the room. So you're in basically a warrior type pose. And this is where the back hand represents the past, the front hand represents the future. So we're just going to float the arms out on the exhale. Now on the inhale, straighten that front leg. And as we do, we bring the palms together at the heart center. So inhale, and as we exhale, we go back into that front knee bend and the arms float out to the sides and turn and look towards that front hand. And then inhale, straightening the front leg. Exhale, coming back into our gentle lunge, floating the arms out, and then inhale back to the center. So we're just going through this motion of bending and then straightening, but thinking about the arms as really like soft feathers. And as we extend out, the arms are nice and relaxed, the wrists are nice and relaxed, and we just sort of unfurl. And then inhale, they gently come back to the center. And then exhale, we float out. And then inhale, back to the center. So having this relationship to the past, right? We are looking towards the future, and then inhaling to the center, right? Which represents the present moment. And also think of sort of letting go on the exhale, right? We're letting go of maybe some of the heaviness. We often we're humans, right? Bring some heaviness with maybe past events that have happened, past feelings, and we don't necessarily want to disregard them. That's not really the goal, but we want to kind of create some spaciousness and lightness so that we don't carry the heaviness, right? Gleaning wisdom and the extracting the gold, right, from the past so that we're able to grab these resources from the present moment, from the past, and then looking forward, right, with this wisdom that we have gathered. Now inhale, come to the center. So both feet forward. Let's open the heart to the sky again. And then exhale. And then inhale. One last time. Inhale and exhale. This time we're going to turn so the left foot is turned facing the side of the room. Back foot's pressed firmly into the ground. And then just let that front knee bend slightly. So just look down. Make sure your knee is pointing in the same direction as your toes, meaning your knee is not falling too far into the inside or letting it kind of splay outside. For protecting your body, you want your knee to be in alignment with your ankle. And then again, let the arms float out to the side, looking towards the future. Inhale, straighten that front leg, hands come to the center, and then exhale. Inhale and exhale. Allow that lightness through the arms just to float out, unfurling, and then inhale back to the center. Let's do one more bend. And then as we inhale, come to the center, both feet face forward, and let's connect one last time, heart to the sky. And then exhale, heart to the earth. And let's bring the feet back to a shorter distance. And let's just shake everything out before we go into the flow section of class today. So nice, juicy exhalations through the mouth. And let's start to slow that down. So let's start our flow section just connecting to the space beneath us. So let's bring up our palms so they're facing the earth. So your elbows are bent at about the level of the hips. And just close your eyes for a moment, just feeling where you are in space, feeling the space beneath the palms of your hands. Our connection to the earth. where you are in this present moment. And then bring your arms down. So the first flow, Enlightened Tiger. So we start with the back of the fingers coming together in the lower abdomen. And then we're going to inhale. Fingers are pointing up as we rise up, all the way up. And as we start to come above the head, we're going to turn slightly to the left. And then one arm comes in front, one arm comes in back, and make those tiger claws again. And we're just going to bring the arms down. So one arm is in back, one arm is in front, bring them all the way down. And then we come back to the center. Back of the fingers come together again. And then we inhale and rise all the way up. This time turning slightly to the right. And then arms separate, tiger claws, reaching forward and back, and then all the way down. And as we come down, bend the knees slightly. And then as we rise up, you're going to take the bend out of the knees, turn to the left, and then exhale down. So it's a really slight rotation, right? As we inhale, we're at the center, and then turning to the right. And the left arm is in front, left arm is in back as we exhale, coming down. And inhale, turning, and then exhale. So think about, again, our relationship to the past and present, right? Tigers represent courage, right? So our courage to, take that relationship, right? The past it's a relationship to the present moment. We can't have the past without the present. So thinking about the past maybe as just an energy of relationship to the present moment, and the courage to kind of take or extract, right, the gold and be able to infuse our present moment with that gold. Things that have made us stronger. And then with that wisdom, right, clearing that path forward in front of us, the future. Inhale, rising up, and then exhale. Those tiger claws gently, but strong hands and fingers, pulling down, extracting, composting, and then bringing everything into the center, into this present moment, clearing that heart. Thinking about also, right, that the lotus that rises up from the murky, muddy waters below, right? The challenges, the uncomfortable things, right? We can extract some of that essence and nutrients that help us grow so that we emerge and bloom. Like the lotuses that you are. Now let's inhale, and now we're going to pause. So as we are turned to the right, let's just pause here. Palm facing forward, palm facing back. Right. And now let's just turn your head so you're looking towards your backhand. right? We want to acknowledge everything that you've gone through, your past experiences, relationships, all of it. Stretching through. And then let's slowly turn the head and looking past your fingers into that potential that's ahead of you. And then exhale, the arms come down. Now we'll do the other side. So we'll inhale up through the center, turn to the left, and then we'll pause again. So the opposite hand is in front, or if you can't see me, and the opposite other hand is in back, stretching through the palms, turning so that you're looking towards that back hand. Hello, past. Right, and then turning and looking towards and pass those fingers into the future and all that potential. And then exhale, the arms come down. So your arms might be a little bit tired. So we'll continue one more round of Enlightened Tiger, but this time with soft hands. So we're going to back of the fingers come together as we inhale and then turn slightly. But this time, keep your hands nice and soft, like you're just gently allowing your fingers to caress through the space and air around you. Right. So now we're just taking all of that wisdom and we're just allowing a softness and lightness to happen. Right. Kind of letting go of the lead and heaviness of the past, but also letting go of expectations, right, of the future and allowing things to happen. We can have an influence. And of course, we have our agendas and our to-do lists and our goals and aspirations, which is great, but sort of allowing too much attachment to expectations and outcomes, because as we all know, life has a way of kind of maybe having things not happen exactly as we anticipate. So if we have a softness around those expectations, then when things do happen, we don't become as tense. We don't become as rigid. We're kind of flexible and are able to navigate those waters and come out feeling like that lotus. So soft hands now. So release the fingers. You can even let your fingers sort of wiggle and twirl as we exhale down. And let's come to the center for a moment. Let's hold that chi ball. All of that extracted goodness, right? That's helping to fuel your energy in this moment, in the present, helping you feel strong and stable, but also light and joyful. So now we're going into, since we've worked with the present and the past, and we really want to focus now on how we can use these energies to fuel how we're feeling in this moment. So grasping the bird's tail, we're going to start with the arms wide open. And as we exhale, you're going to bring the left arm perpendicular to the ground. So your fingers are pointing up. And excuse me, yeah, that's the left hand. And your right hand, you're going to point the middle finger towards the inner elbow of your left arm. That is a point called heart 3. It's on the inner elbow. It's between that bony protuberance. I think that's the olecranon or epicondyle. It's one of those bones right here. And the inner crease of the elbow. It's a point right there. It's a really amazing point on the heart channel. And then the tip of the middle finger is on the pericardium channel. So as we inhale and we open up the heart, think of expanding and being open. And now the opposite hand comes perpendicular, but we also, this is a posture of protection, right? We want to make sure that we're maintaining our internal environment, boundaries, and integrity so that we have that resilience and strength and confidence to be open. But then the necessary counter to expansion and being open is to go inward and ensure that we're protecting our own energy, having the capacity to be there for others requires that we are there for ourselves first, and we're taking care of our pericardium. That's that wrapper around the heart. They say is the heart protector. It's literally a muscle that surrounds the actual heart, right? So we're protecting our inner resources. So as we inhale, you can even straighten the legs slightly. Just think of really opening the heart center. And now we're exhaling. We're also ensuring that we're allowing energy to flow through these channels and then nourishing the internals of our internal environment. So the arms aren't too close to the body. Just think of keeping some space, even as we pull in, right? We don't want to be too contracted. It's a gentle pulling in and then springing forward. And just think of the arms floating out like water, like little waves, right? Just like a wave opens up and extends onto the shore, but then it contracts, right? Generates that energy, that internal energy, and then springs forward again. That flow, that pulsation of life, that constant, never ending pulsation, expanding and contracting, that yin and yang. And then after this next exhalation, let's bring the arms back down into our chi ball for a moment. Really allowing that brightness to permeate right from this center ball of your energy, just infusing that elixir of light through your entire body. And then let your arms drop down. Let's inhale the arms down, around, and up. And then exhale, the hands float back down. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Bringing the feet together. One last inhale all the way up and then all the way down into the lower dantian, the lower elixir field. Feeling that connection to the earth, feeling that lightness above, spreading through the body, through the crown of the head. Connecting to the space and the universe above, and also rooted down through the earth below. And when you're ready, you can crack your eyes open. Thank you, everyone. Hopefully everyone's hearts feel nice and light and open, but also protected.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. I hope you all enjoy this beautiful day and weekend, and hopefully get some fresh air now that the windows can be open if they've been closed. Ours have in Jersey City, at least. Up here, it's so nice right now. But I hope you all have a great weekend, and I hope to see you next week.